Ladies and gents, welcome back. A lot to cover on this one. So yesterday, Dougie Ford, he decides to finally make a statement on this. I mean, let me just let him speak for himself. Let him sum up what he had to say here.
With an unprecedented threat to our health and safety, faced with a very real prospect of patients being turned away from overwhelmed hospitals, faced with consequences of inaction, this virus has consistently forced us to make decisions that no one ever wanted to make. Looking at where we are right now and how far we've come, pushing Omicron back, there's no doubt these were the right decisions.
Now, that may not be actually accurate because we have John Hopkins who disagrees. I'll put a link to this study in the description down below, but it's basically showing that COVID restrictions in pandemic situations aren't necessarily, like lockdowns, aren't necessarily the right approach because they're not really effective in what it is that they're trying to do. So I'll let him continue.
There's no doubt they protected our hospitals from collapse and saved lives. Today,
there is doubt.
We're on track to very soon remove almost all restrictions for businesses as part of our reopening plan. And we heard from Dr. Moore last week and again yesterday that he is now working on a plan that will allow us to remove the vaccine passport system. My friends, this is great news and a sign of just how far we've come together in this fight.
Now, he's going to play this off as if this was not influenced by the tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of trucks right outside of his door. Let's not kid ourselves here, folks. There is nothing so permanent as a temporary government program. And this program was not meant to go anywhere. The vaccine passports, the idea of tracking citizens' every move and where they go, this is what the protest is about. It's not about whether or not people got the vaccine. They told us 80%. 80% should cover it. We're at 90%. They should just lift it all immediately. So we're not sure why Big Dougie is reluctant in doing that. By the way, he did cut his snowmobiling trip short in order to come down and make this speech. He went on to actually start making threats.
So let me be as clear as I can. There will be consequences for these actions, and they will be severe. We've already started by going after the money funding the illegal occupation. Yesterday, an Ontario court granted our request to freeze the funds from Give, Send, Go for the convoy.
Now, let's have a little context to that. Freezing the funds for Give, Send, Go would be knowing that those funds are coming from Give, Send, Go, because you can't. There's a statement from Give, Send, Go that says, "Know this, Canada has absolutely zero jurisdiction over how we manage our funds here at Give, Send, Go. All funds are for every campaign on Give, Send, Go flow directly to the recipients of those campaigns, not least of which is the Freedom Convoy campaign." So essentially what they're saying there is you can't touch it. They're on U.S. soil, right? The Ontario government has no jurisdiction over them. What Dougie Boy is saying is that they have gotten permission from the courts to, if they can identify those funds, they can freeze those funds. Now that will be a difficult process probably for them. We'll see how that goes. We're not sure. I'm not sure myself how those funds are being transferred or given to the convoy. But as as of so far, people haven't stopped donating. There's $9 million currently in the Give, Send, Go. Now, people have been saying, well, I'm not trusting that they'll be able to get it in this way, even though Give, Send, Go's methods are their purpose and their stated goal is to actually give this to the truckers. People are saying that it may not be the case. They may not be able to send it to them. So they're going the Bitcoin route. They're going cryptocurrency. Currently, Bitcoin for truckers is at $1.16 million Canadian. Oh, Give, Send, Go actually put out a Valentine's tweet. Get her something special this Valentine's Day. I got a kick out of that. Let's hear what Big Dougie Boy also has to say.
The OPP has also provided additional resources to Ottawa Police Services and Windsor Police Services to satisfy their recent requests for operational support. And more needs to be done. We're strengthening the tools and the powers of our police forces to resolve this situation and restore order. Let me be clear. The government does not direct our police forces, but we do set the laws. Today,
That's an interesting one to digest. The government doesn't direct the police force, but we set the laws. The police force has been doing what people are alleging is criminal behavior. And they're setting new laws. It's an interesting way of expressing that.
Using my authority as Premier of Ontario to declare a state of emergency in our province. And I will convene Cabinet to use legal authorities to urgently enact orders that will make crystal clear it is illegal and punishable to block and impede the movement of goods, people, and services along critical infrastructure. This will include protecting international border crossings, 400 series highways, airports, ports, bridges, and railways. It will also include protecting the safe and essential movement of ambulatory and medical services, public transit, municipal and provincial roadways, as well as pedestrian walkways.
So what he's saying there is basically they're hitting us where it hurts. So we're gonna lash back, essentially. The border crossings, especially. That's their big thing. And yeah, well, what are they gonna do about it? Let's hear Big Dougie.
Fines for noncompliance will be severe, with a maximum penalty of $100,000 and up to a year imprisonment. We will also provide additional authority to consider taking away the personal and commercial licenses of anyone who doesn't comply with these orders. This will not impede the rights of Ontarians to peacefully protest.
Okay, so that's an interesting point he brought across, and it raises a fundamental question. What is the purpose of licensing in Canada or in each individual province? Is the purpose of licensing for the government to make sure to have a mandate on public safety by ensuring that people operating vehicles are knowledgeable in doing so and can do it in a safe manner? Or is it there to be taken away at the political whims of the leaders? That is a serious question we need to ask ourselves about what the role of licensing is in Canada or in the particular provinces. When a politician can get on the television, get on the interwebs, broadcast out there that he is going to take away your licensing based on what you're doing as a political movement or a political statement in protest, legal protest, that is an interesting observation, to say the least. Now, support is not waning. Around the world, we're seeing new things popping up. We have France's Emmanuel Macron appeals for calm as so-called I love how they do that, freedom convoy of lorries nears Paris for protest against COVID restrictions. We've got guys rolling out, farmers, truckers, lorry drivers. It's amazing. We're seeing solidarity coming from Britain. Britain, thanks for joining the cause, coming out and showing that they stand together. I mean, wasn't it recently Britain has lifted all these sanctions against the citizenry? So these people are standing in solidarity. Let me be clear, Dougie boy, that these people are standing in solidarity around the world. You're being watched. When people are looking at the way you're responding to this, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind that the world is watching. Anyway, boys, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.